Hey guys, I'm Sinclair and welcome to an exciting new episode of More Than Music. Today we're joined by an English singer-songwriter we know from mega hits like Love Me Like You Do and I Need Your Love, but most recently from her new album Brightest Blue. Welcome Ellie Goulding, super duper stoked to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. So happy to be here.
Nice, how are you doing out there? How's everything out there in England?
Yeah, good. It's definitely still feels a bit unusual. I don't think things are quite back to normal yet, but
Mhm.
there's I think maybe that people are going back to school today, so I think there's a sense of normality for some parents. But I don't know. It still feels like things aren't quite there yet.
I don't, I
So
don't even think it's going to. I don't think it's going to become normal anytime soon. Like it just feels so strange these days. It's like what? Like
it's
it's such a weird
you
thing.
know things are strange when you think it's odd to see someone not wearing a mask.
Yeah, and even if you see a group of more than three people, you're like, guys, I think you should stand apart a little bit.
I know. But, I think it's like it's brought out, it's brought out some good in people. It's probably brought out like this, fear in people, and it's brought out, different sides of us. So it's a good time to kind of figure out, I don't know, like how good we are at dealing with things and our resilience, I suppose.
Definitely, definitely. Cool. Let's get into it. So, congratulations, firstly, on your new album drop.
Thank you.
5 years of work on yourself and the album. How does it finally feel to have those set of 19 songs out in the universe?
It feels good. It was never going to be easy releasing an album during a pandemic. I think that's always a tricky one. But it feels like it does. I do feel like a sense of freedom that they're out there and people are enjoying them, and I have such nice messages about the songs, and it feels like more personal, and it feels like that certain songs are affecting some people more than others, and it feels like an album, and I don't know how many more albums there are going to be in this climate of music, but I was just happy that I was at least one of the last ones, because it feels like these days, there's a lot of orientation with singles and with releasing songs and not necessarily albums. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like I feel like I kind of lucked out with that because I managed to release a whole body of work and kind of get away with it. And yeah, it feels good. I hope that someday I get to tour the songs. I just don't know when that.
I have a few questions ready for you just about that. Next up, we've got like a two-part album, right? The first 13 songs about you. The second part of the album is a little bit of a tribute to present pop music. And what kind of pushed you to have a balance of, pop music and music that resembles your personality in an album that is so personal?
There wasn't really too much of an agenda other than, like you said, I think my voice, has I've lent my voice to so many different types of music, and I think that's something to be proud of, and something I really enjoy doing. And I think there are people out there that have their thing. There are artists that have their style and have their voice and have their music. And for me, I've always thought of myself as a voice. I've never been preoccupied with the way I dress, with my persona. I've never been controversial as most pop stars are supposed to be. I've just always had a voice, and people have chosen to kind of to invest in more than just that. But really, when it comes down to it, it's my voice and the way I sing, the way I sing different genres of music, and the way that I can, evoke emotion and have that emotional response with my voice. So that's the simplicity of it. And I think lockdown has made me realize that or made me appreciate that and appreciate that my voice can carry, lots of different kinds of music.
That's nice. Was it a challenge to release this album during COVID? I mean, everything happens over Zoom. Was that a hurdle you had to kind of cross over?
It was so bizarre. I was doing every interview, every performance, everything on Zoom, and occasionally I get the odd camera sent to my house by some masked person that just dropped it outside the door, and I send it back, and wearing gloves. It was a very strange time, and initially I found it quite exciting and a novelty, and then when it became a routine, I found it more and more difficult to be that personal and have that intimacy, because
Yeah.
it was just in my house, and it's not even my house, it's like a house I rent, and it just felt very strange. And I don't know, I it's not how I envisaged people to sort of, to enter into my life, into the way that I live. But it happened. I think, we had to adapt to it, and we adapted quickly. And I've got a great team around me who helped me out with a lot of it.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, because I read a few pieces of yours, a few interview pieces where you said it was getting quite hectic to kind of do press tours where you have to fly to countries, kind of you have to get up early, go to sleep late, all of those. Like, I actually thought that it would be a welcome kind of like you to kind of embrace that in open arms, because it was less hectic and you don't have to fly as much, you don't have to travel as much. I thought that would definitely
Definitely,
help.
and it took the, eh, promo, meeting people and performing songs around the world is fun, but it can also be very tiring, and it can take the fun out of it when there's too much travel and you have to get up early, and then you're doing all that flying, and I don't particularly like flying for a lot of reasons. And so actually it's just, this Zoom sort of era has made things just really pure and simple, and it's just a chat, and it's about conversation, and it's just about talking, which I think is really important. And it's not about, you know like I said, that there's all the other things just kind of go away, like what you're wearing,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And I think
Yeah.
yeah, it's made things a lot more simple.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, it's cool that we're talking like this. I mean, we'd definitely be able to do it in person too. It just feels so nice to kind of have you at your home, and, you're feeling comfortable at home, and you don't have to kind of move around and stuff. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. So I saw your video for Power, and you said that you shot it all yourself at home. It must have been pretty cool not to have 100 people in your room in a studio, kind of looking at you while you're shooting a music video. That must have been a little bit liberating, even creatively. Did you have any inputs in the video?
Yeah, it was very liberating, and it was an all-female team. I mean, I say all-female team. It was just me, and then I had the director on the phone, and I was kind of in a bubble with one other person who helped me a lot throughout lockdown. And so it was really nice to just feel like I could. Yeah, it felt like, you could be a bit naughty and kind of do what you wanted, because there was no one around to tell you off. And music videos are very sort of military. There, you've got to get up at a certain time, and you have to be on set at a certain time, and then it's all, it's very controlled. So it was nice to just kind of, yeah, do my own thing. And
That
and
is
yeah, it's very significant for the song as well. That kind of liberation, and just not really caring about anything other than your own kind of being in your own vibe. I don't know.
that makes sense. Okay. Next question, album tour. Yeah. So, I mean, you want a break for a while now, and just as you finished the album and looked like you were super ready to go out on tour, COVID hit and pushed you back on the couch. Like, how does that feel? That must feel really strange, right? Like, so excited. I'm sure you were super excited to get out there.
I was so ready to get back out on the road. I was really like eager to start traveling, and then it just didn't happen. Yeah, I feel like touring is what I'm used to, and it's my it's been most of my 20s. I'm my early 30s now, so it was uh it was really all I knew. Touring was really, um I spent more time on tour than I did at home. um
Wow.
so it was just what I knew best, and I
Mm-hmm.
got very used to it. I got used to the sensations
Mm-hmm.
of moving around, seeing different cities all the time, and meeting different people, and eating different food. And so yeah, I've definitely really missed it, and I hope that I can pursue it again soon.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a few places in the UK are opening for festivals. I saw one where they kind of had like those blocks of people sitting there. It was strange, but
Yeah,
I mean, I'd welcome anything now.
Me too. Excuse me. Me too. I'd be in a bubble. I'd be in wherever. I'd love to see some live music. That's okay.
Okay, cool. So you've been at home for a while now. Have you picked up any new hobbies?
I've definitely got into making cakes for a while, and I have so much leftover flour and sugar and all of those things that go in cakes because I just went crazy and went on Amazon and started buying all kinds of things like cookie cutter things and yeah. So I do need to use that up and start making some more cakes this week. But no, I mean, I took up piano for a bit. I learned when I lived in New York, and then I kind of lost it. And I'm a natural guitarist. I'm just not a natural piano player, but I do try.
Mm.
That's something I need to get on. But that was kind of it, really. Did you learn any?
So I learned cooking, a lot of cooking, and we bought like a lot of like utensils and stuff like that, but we haven't used half of them. We bought like a bunch
Yeah,
of flour, just like you did. Like everyone got into cooking in the first few weeks of quarantine, and then like we completely lost interest. We're like, man, this, you have to wash all your vessels, and you have to. There's a lot that you have to go through. So we just gave up. We just like it's normal
I think
now.
everyone was panic buying, and everyone, nobody
Yeah,
knew how long it was going to be,
yeah.
and I think we all needed those, those comfort things like
Yeah,
cooking,
definitely.
reading.
Definitely. And you spoke about Amazon. Amazon been a big part of our lives for like the last few months. I've been guilty buying stuff left and right. I've bought my stuff way too many things and I don't need anything.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. I've done exactly the same. And I went through like a real obsession with protein bars because I train pretty hard and I got to get that protein in. And also I try not to eat sugar. So I'd make the cakes but not eat them. And then I'd have all these cakes and then I'd buy protein bar. And anyway, I just have like a drawer full of all random protein bars. That are low sugar and low carb, but like high protein. I don't know. That's a real problem. But luckily, people would eat the cakes quick enough. Like my husband would eat the cake quick enough for me to not have to worry about it. Because if I have sugar in the house, I will eat it. That's the problem.
That's awesome. So finally, I want to talk to you about your trip to India. I know that you did a private wedding here in India, but there seems to be no information about it on the internet except for like an article or two. How was your experience in India? Was there any food that you loved? Was there
I,
any
I
things
mean,
that you
I
loved?
loved the food. I loved the food. I have to say that when I go out, I always ask if we can go to have Indian food because it's my favorite, by far.
You don't
But
have to say that just because we're here, Ellie.
I swear. There's a vegetarian because I don't eat meat, so actually it's really great for vegetarian diet. And there's a place in down the road from me here in London that I like. It's called Woodlands, and it's veggie Indian. It's my favorite because obviously it's you can easily eat go to completely veggie. And also I had a chef come round. Um, Nisha, and she came round and I asked if she could do entirely Indian. And she has all sorts of requests, but that was mine. So yeah. But I remember the wedding. You know what? I was really sick when last time I came. I was suffering from some strange flu that I'd had, and this was years ago, so it wasn't COVID, but
Mm.
it was a really strange flu. So everything was a bit of a blur, and I had to take a lot of meds to sing. But I remember castles, I remember lakes, um, and I remember just it was beautiful. But I was there for like 2 days
So that sucks. It'd
long.
be nice to have you for
But
long.
maybe you guys will have me back.
Dude, for sure, for sure. We'd be excited to have you here. And I mean, Ellie, it was so nice having this conversation with you. I'm so stoked that we got to do
You
this.
too. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, all the best for whatever you've got coming next. And we
Thank you so
hope to
much.
see you in India soon.
You too. Thank you so much. I hope so too.
Yeah. Do you wanna post for a picture? Do you wanna do a peace sign?
Sure.